note these are a form of social commentary, and not in any way meant to put down the ideas and ideals of any political or gender identity. You are all fair game in the eyes of the wicked, and we see you.
I've done what felt right. It just feels like
the world is like a ride at an amusement park, and when you choose to go on it, you think it's real, because that's how powerful our minds are. And the ride goes up and down and round and round. It has thrills and chills, and it's very brightly colored, and it's very loud, and it's fun for a while. Some people have been on the ride for a long time, and they begin to question, is this real, or is this just a ride? And other people have remembered, and they come back to us, they say, hey, don't worry, don't be afraid, ever, because this is just a ride.
Gentlemen, this is democracy manifest. Have a look at, see that chap over there? Take your hand off my penis!
The Deputy Secretary, Deputy Secretary, Deputy Secretary.
This guy is fucking stupid!
stay cheesy. Alrighty then, and one more sound. Alright, let me back up here. I know it's too big. I don't like that look. Alright, how's it going, party people? My beautiful starflies. Today is the 5th of October. Nothing special. Another damn day in this damned world. So, welcome to Useless Agent. This is your safe space from the MAGA morons and the crazy, oversensitive social justice warriors. This is a free speech network, meaning we don't give a fuck. Alright, so, where to begin? Alright, I just want to start off with, excuse me, the debate that we never even talked about. I never even bothered to address the second debate on the Republican side. I didn't even bother with it because it was so fucking stupid. I didn't bother to watch it when it was live, so I kind of just caught the highlights. So I basically keep track of the presidential debates the same way that I keep track of WWE wrestling. Meaning I just check the highlights. You know, if I want a good show, I'll go to AEW. But, you know what? I don't need the hat today. Y'all know where I'm from. Also, I do have a big-ass sign behind me. It's at Chicago. So, so where to begin? Obviously, the episode is called Traitors, Wimps, and Fucking Morons. And the reason why I had to name it that is because of the crazy amount of just idiots that walk among us. And the fact that, you know, on the song that I have that literally says this guy is fucking stupid and he talks about how stupid people are, you have to also keep in mind George Carlin was talking about 1995 stupid people, maybe 98. He would not be able to coexist in this world right now. He'd either be having a blast with it, or he would have just straight up like disappeared and just like went into obscurity because he wanted nothing to do with this world and the people in it. And I don't blame him. So I want to show you a great example of how stupid people really are, especially when it comes down to reading your Bible. Now, everyone is always going to say, you know, read your Bible, kids, read your Bible, kids. But what they never tell you is that the Bible in itself is kind of bullshit, you know? It is, it's a cute story, but there's a lot of very fucked up things and you know, crazy, archaic cultures within that story. So, you know, if you really did read your Bible, you should know how fucked up it is and that it needed to be taken subjectively, not objectively, because of some of the honestly, just some of the humiliating things that they say about women in that. And none of this is a joke. So this guy's going around reading the Quran to people to show them that it's actually in the Bible. So let's go ahead and look at it. This wouldn't have worked on me, and it definitely wouldn't have worked on Chank, and it probably wouldn't work on you if you are a viewer of my show, because we tend to actually do research. Like, when I want to make fun of something, I learn about it so that way I can really make fun of it. So when I want to make fun of the Bible during my period of atheism and rebellion, I read the hell out of my Bible. I had multiple Bibles. I was raised Catholic. So I had to read, and from the things that I couldn't understand, I kind of just moved them aside like a test. I didn't bother. I came back to them later. But the draconian shit, the barbaric mentality is what we're about to show you right now.
On the young woman, then they shall bring out the young woman to the door of her father's house and have the men of the city stone her to death.
That's totally extreme.
So what if I told you that this actually was the Bible?
Have a nice day.
You know, I can't believe he didn't see that coming. And that's partly because most people don't read the Bible. They have no idea what's in the Bible. I knew that was in the Bible. He didn't see that coming. That's amazing. Let's see what others do.
Women should be kept silent in places of worship, for they are not permitted to speak, but should be in submission.
That's kind of harsh. Yeah, that's really harsh. What?
Now, what if I told you that this is actually not the Quran and it's the Bible?
I would not be surprised at all.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. I was like, the Quran does not say that about women.
Guys, read the Bible. You will be shocked at what's in it. There's some good stuff, and there's some really not good stuff. By the way, also true of almost all the other religious texts.
Yeah, just keeping it real. No, that is hilarious. Just in a nutshell, that's hysterical. Because if you notice, the younger generation was not surprised. They said, I'm not surprised at all. Like, they laughed and then said, nah, it makes sense. It makes sense. You know why? Because the average kid today knows how out of touch those Bibles are. You know, it's funny how the 9/11 Commission made a ridiculous comic book out of the out of the Twin Towers, you know, for 9/11. They literally made a comic book for it. And so I always wonder, where's the comic book for Jeebus? Because if you actually had a comic book for the Bible and you make it actually accurate, not the Flanders version, but the accurate Bible, I think we should show that to children and let them decide, do they believe this crap? Or do they look at objective facts like math that's on the board up there and say, no, I'm going to stick with that? And again, you cannot say you believe in science. That is a stupid thing to say. You can't walk around just saying, oh, no, I believe in science. Now, I've been guilty of saying that myself because it's just easier to say to the unintelligent. So, yeah, you don't believe in science. Science is already there. It's not a matter of belief. It's just, do you accept it? You know? And so, yeah, I accept objective reality, and I accept science because it's provable. It's actually there in front of us. So it's hilarious how the older guy literally picks up his bag and walks away, you know, so offended that what are you offended by? Like, are you mad? Excuse me. It seems like he was mad at the guy with the camera for tricking him. Shouldn't you be mad at your religion for leaving that part out? Or should you be mad at yourself for not learning about your own fucking religion? So between all the hypocrisy, idiocy, all the in between, to try to say one religion is the same as the other. No, they couldn't. No, they're not the same. Most religions are not the same, but they follow the same basic formula, and that doesn't make them the same. The templates are the same, but not the actual minutia of it. And when you get lost in the minutia of it, that's when you have fun with it. Going, wait a minute. So I can sell my firstborn daughter into slavery. And there's this crazy shit about selling your daughter into slavery. And the guy that you sell your daughter to owes you a certain amount of land. This is how you know this has nothing to do with the year zero. Why would you even be thinking about slavery and currency? And so it's just a big load of horse shit. And it's funny how church and state are so similar, and yet we're supposed to keep them separate. But today's fucking state is so much like religion, it's kind of hard to tell them apart. And when you got morons, absolute morons like Matt Gaytz, who is like the definition of an idiotic hypocrite. Here's a guy that, he's well known to like the underage kids, and the stuff that he says is just ridiculous. Because here he is basically trying to tell in a certain way, he's trying to tell the country, kind of like basically saying, okay, look, if you want to work with the other side of the aisle, then you are not my speaker. Okay, I'm pretty sure that there are two parties, Democratic and Republican. In order for things to pass, you have to work with Democrats. Matt Gaytz has worked with Democrats, and I've seen him work with AOC. And then the one time he worked with AOC, he got trashed, and his own people were saying, dude, why are you being caught with AOC? Are you guys in love? You guys in love over there? And Matt Gaytz, had said that is the dumbest, most childish thing, that you guys are going to make fun of me because I'm working with the other side of the aisle. That's my job. And here he is saying the exact opposite, saying if you work with Democrats, you're evil. And the whole point of us being MAGA is, I don't know, self-division and fractured pieces going all over the place. So look at how the words come back to haunt this moron that has no clue what he's talking about.
If it's me forcing a few votes and filing a few motions. Real chaos is when the American people have to go through the austerity that is coming if we continue to have $2 trillion annual deficits. You don't know chaos until you've seen where this Congress and this uniparty is bringing us.
Oh, really? You don't know chaos until you see what your suits do every day? Can we put him in a fucking war zone? Like, the very fact that this man is just like Trump. He has no respect for our men and women in uniform. Doesn't respect them. Also probably considers them to be suckers. Now, Trump has been proven, it's proven that he has said this multiple times. He does not respect our military, the very people that protect our country. Now, I don't agree with what they do a lot of the time, but that is not the fault of a trooper. The troops do what they're told because they're fucking loyal to America. The problem is that we have pencil neck douchebags sending off our military into countries that only help their interests. And what it is basically using the banks and Federal Reserve as your piggy bank and using our troops as a bully for hire. That is exactly what Republicans have been doing with our fucking military. And I'm not going to say anything special about Democrats because you guys are no different. We were promised change. And that fucking picture of Obama that says hope on it is the biggest lie I've ever seen. We didn't get hope. We got a guy that literally spent 4 years cleaning up and fixing off everything that the asshole Bush administration had already done. So now that you're out of that group and you've already murdered us, the fact that the Patriot Act is still in play today shows that you have no intentions of changing. You have no intentions on giving Americans their rights back. You want it to stay this way. And so when you can't find a boogeyman outside, you guys start fighting with each other because you've put so many unhinged fucking morons into the system that all they do is attack each other because it's all they know how to do. They don't know how to compromise or solve a problem. They only know how to make one. So a person that only knows how to make problems is not going to be someone that can solve one. So let's go back to seeing this fucking.
The civil war within the GOP has now devolved into absolute utter chaos when Matt Gaytz leading the mutiny, yes, that's right, the mutiny against now former Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy.
If the Democrats want to own Kevin McCarthy, they can have it. Because one thing I'm at peace with is when we stand here a week from now, I won't own Kevin McCarthy anymore.
Okay, see right there? I won't own Kevin McCarthy. What is with this guy's obsession and the right's obsession with owning human beings? I mean, you right-wing fuckers have been holding on to this need to control people, and it all started when we took away your slaves. And once we said, hey, the black guy needs his own fucking life, not to fucking help you with yours. That was the beginning. And here is the remnants of a bullshit era that needs to die. I'm not saying he needs to die. I'm saying the policies are archaic, stupid, divisive, and need to be put down. All right. And it's kind of like what Stallone said, you know, these people act like goddamn stray dogs. And when it comes down to the Capitol and our government, that's where stray dogs are supposed to be put down by reality, by the actual real policies of our country. And instead, we get more bullshit like this, where the guy is clearly saying that he wants to own people and own their decisions. And if they work with the opposite side to help America, that's bad. And remember, this is another guy who has no respect for our military. He looked at one of our top-ranked fucking soldiers, generals, and he fucking makes these little fucking faces at him like a 12-year-old bully. And you know damn well if it ever came down to it, your little fucking 4 days of Krav Maga training that you did when you were 12 is not going to help you. So please, I want Matt Gaytz to talk shit about the military to a fucking veteran. Do it. Go up to a fucking Marine that just got home and go ahead and tell him about how you want him to have less money, less fucking insurance, less fucking care for his injuries, and how he supports a guy that hates them. And if you're a fucking army, if you're at all in the military, you've lost all of his respect because to them, you're just a free worker, not a man that loves or woman that loves their fucking country. Whew. Let's keep going.
He won't belong to me. So if the Democrats want to adopt him, they can adopt him.
Gaytz did all that he could to kick McCarthy out, refusing to work with him any longer by starting the official removal process. And even Mr. Gaytz recognized the pickle that Republicans have put themselves into.
If we take Paul Ryan off the field right now, instead of being able to finish strong in the 115th Congress, we will shatter into a bunch of factions fighting against each other for power.
No, and you did.
If he doesn't want to go, is in any way advantageous.
Congressman, with all due respect, and I have a lot of respect for you and many of the positions
Likewise.
that you hold. Thank you very much. I will say this: if Paul Ryan has done such a bang-up job, his caucus shouldn't be fractured. But he's such a used-up,
damn straight,
dirty old Band-Aid that the second you rip him off, the almost corpse is going to fall into a million pieces.
Well, to torture your metaphor, if you take that Band-Aid off too soon, you can get an infection.
I'll take it.
That is the most hypocritical thing to fucking say. So 10 years ago, you're fucking saying that we need to be united. And then 10 years later, you're saying we need to be divided. And then when you're even saying, oh, if we follow this fucking routine, we're going to be fucking broken down and fractured. And I love how she said it. But if you're doing such a crack up job, then it should never fracture. But again, the guy has no fucking balls. There's no substance to his word. His word means nothing. And the way I was raised by fucking military people, I was always taught that even giving a weak handshake shows that you're a piece of shit, because it means that's how much confidence you have in your word. So if I have no confidence in my own word and my handshake means absolutely nothing and it's weak and frail, and I just give you those little fucking weak ass handshakes, that shows that I'm a piece of shit. And that's how that's how I was taught to look at it. If a man or a woman, I don't care who you are, if you tell me something, then I'm going by your word. And if your word don't mean shit, then you don't mean shit. Seems like fair. It seems fair and balanced to me. It just seems like it just makes fucking sense. So finally, we have Liz Cheney also making fun of her own party, and I just want to get her in here real quick so she can say her piece, because I do agree with her. And knowing that her father is a homicidal maniac, that says a lot. This woman's fucking father watched us burn to death in a building. And not only didn't ground the plane, not only not call a state of emergency, but if you listen to the if you listen to the 9/11 Commission, you listen to Norman Mineta, he literally nails and contradicts everything that Cheney tried to say. So here's a woman whose father is a war criminal. And 100 years from now, they're finally going to see it that way. But until then, the only person that seems to make sense is his lesbian daughter. And for all the hatred that fucking party shows, the amount of contempt that they show for homosexuals, and to know that Cheney's own daughter is a lesbian. And she is a very fucking intelligent person. However, you lose points because your last name is Cheney. But go ahead and say it.
We're electing idiots.
All right. Thank you very much, Liz Cheney. Appreciate it. And that's it. That's all I had time to give her, because you know what? Again, your father is a homicidal maniac. So... yeah, thanks, Liz Cheney. That's literally all the time we're gonna give to Liz. That's literally all that we're gonna give to Liz Cheney. That's it. All right? Fuck, your dad's a war criminal. All right. That's like me giving time more than 3 seconds to anyone whose last name is like Kissinger. Nope, sorry, man. So she's absolutely right. You're electing idiots. You're electing divisive idiots that are only attributing to your divisive culture, and your divisive culture is now infecting you. Now, I love, just for a quick second, when Matt Gaytz had said, allow me to torture your metaphor. And you certainly did torture the metaphor, because you said if I take the Band-Aid off too soon, I can get an infection. The girl just said that he's a dirty, old, used up Band-Aid. If you're using a dirty ass, used up Band-Aid on a clean wound, you are still getting an infection, you stupid fucking moron. Maybe that's, I mean, an infection, that would at least explain his giant head. You know, I always wondered what happened. I want to meet his mom and just say, I'm so sorry you had to pull that disgusting thing out of your body. You know, like, ugh. But you know, moms, man, they don't care, man. You could be a fucking serial killer. Mom's going to love you, all right? Your mom's boy. But, all right, so now here's Sweet Potato Hitler. I've been in courtrooms for a long time. I've been arrested plenty of times. I was even mistaken for a lawyer because, I dress nice. When I go to court, I don't go in jeans. I don't go in a t-shirt. I go with the most respectable outfit that I can find. I'll look around my closet, and if I can find a nice, respectable outfit that is going to show this judge that I am serious about my case and that I do not want, I do not want to be taken in any way other than seriously. And honestly, that's where these ass clowns just get everything wrong. But I see people all the time coming in and they wear jeans, they wear tennis shoes. I mean, you should dress, when you go to a courthouse, think of it as church. Dress nice, okay? Because it's your first impression. So all those courtrooms I've ever been in, and even being confused for a new attorney that was supposed to be there, it was pretty funny because they dropped these files on me while I was situating my case. I took one of the lawyer's private rooms so I can get my case ready because I was representing myself. And the case was a situation where my probation officer was lying and forging my signature onto pages that I never signed because I was in the hospital at the time. So I had absolute proof that it is not my fault. If you are on parole, if you're on parole and you have to go see your probation officer, or if you're simply on probation, you got to see a PO. Those people don't play. You can't be a minute late. You have to sign in at the exact time you show up. So you always want to make sure you're early. But out of all those times, as I'm sitting there getting my case ready, making sure all of my hospital papers were in chronological order and proof of signature to show that I never signed these probation officer papers saying that I know I'm in trouble. I was obviously under, medication at the time, so I wouldn't have even known that existed. So I was smart enough to take the time, make sure all my papers were in order. So they confused me for an attorney, dropped off a bunch of files, and too bad my name wasn't sticking out of one. Otherwise, I definitely would have read my own file. But the point is that I'm trying to make that out of all those court visits, and even though I have won, I want to say 3 out of 5 court cases, I've lost 2 and had to spend, actually I lost 3. So, all right, 3 out of 6, I'm about 50-50. And so I go over, to those lobbies. I didn't know that I can make a speech. I had no fucking idea that I could totally just go ahead and just start making a speech just because there's a camera around. And you know that's exactly why he did it.
You borrow money, you pay it back, and you get sued by a political animal. And that's where we are. And that's the way it goes. And that's why New York State is failing, and that's why companies are leaving by the thousands. I'll see you later. Thank you.
I'll see you later. Thank you very much. And then he also loves to do his greatest hits when he loves to tell people, they're letting murderers go all around the state, all around the city. Like, dude, seriously? Is there is the Manson family on a tour bus? I think you got the Manson family mixed up with the Partridge family. Maybe the Manson family did start a new band and they're going around New York killing everybody. I don't know where all these murderers are, who these murderers are, where the fuck they came from, or who they're even killing. But according to Trump, there's a whole bunch of them. So, yeah, I really wish those twins in the back. Now, I don't know if they're twins or not, but those two guards, they're two ladies with ponytails and glasses, almost the same height. They look exactly the same. I thought they were twins. I really wish they would just tase the shit out of him from the back. Just tase him. I don't know, man. He was putting his hands up and down. I don't know. You know, if I tried doing that shit and go like this every time I talk, somebody would, a cop would tell me, put your damn hands down. All right. So, but this is the world we live in. This is the bullshit that we deal with every goddamn day. All right. So, yeah, it's just another day in this fucking crazy ass place that we call 2023. All right. So, just want to be able to say, love you guys. Stay yourselves. Stay free. Stay safe. And I will see you on the other side. But most of all, stay cheesy, my friends.
Please note these are a form of social commentary and not in any way meant to put down the ideas and ideals of any political or gender identity. You are all fair game in the eyes of the wicked, and we see you.
It just feels like
The world is like a ride at an amusement park, and when you choose to go on it, you think it's real, because that's how powerful our minds are. And the ride goes up and down and round and round. It has thrills and chills, and it's very brightly colored, and it's very loud, and it's fun for a while. Some people have been on the ride for a long time, and they begin to question, is this real, or is this just a ride? And other people have remembered, and they come back to us, they say, hey, don't worry, don't be afraid, ever, because this is just a ride.
Gentlemen, this is democracy manifest. Have a look at, see that chap over there? Take your hand off my penis!
The Deputy Secretary, Deputy Secretary, Deputy Secretary.
This guy is fucking stupid!